Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have tuned in to another edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Colter, and in the middle, my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ. And to the far right, we got special guest, former Clemson wide receiver, now entrepreneur, truck
Hello. What's
driver,
going on? What's going on, baby?
Shelton. Boy, how you doing, Shelton?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's up?
What's up?
All
What's
right,
up?
How you fellas doing, man?
We doing good, man. Glad to have you on the show. Yes, sir.
For real.
Glad to be here to be a part of it, man.
No problem,
We're in the midst
man.
for the world.
Yes, sir. For the people that don't know you, let them know where you're from and a little bit about your background.
Okay. I'm Shelton Boyer from Charlotte, North Carolina. I got to Clemson in 1982. Graduated from West Charlotte High School, and
All right.
just tried to pursue the dream.
There you go. Yeah. So, what started you to play football? You know, you had a athletic background. I mean, family members, friends, neighborhood. Who did you look up to and inspired you to play football?
Well, I would say, other than the professional athletes on the Oakland Raider football team, my first idol was Otis Sistrum.
Okay.
At 8 years old. You might not know that cat.
Nah, I don't, man.
Right. Otis
Enlighten
Sistrum.
us about him.
He was number 60 for the Oakland Raiders. He played guard.
Okay.
And the first team I ever played football for was the Little League PAL Oakland Raiders.
Okay.
We had the original, right, silk pants with the black shirts, right, and the original emblem on the helmet. You couldn't beat it, man, for a Pop Warner League.
That's right.
And I thought it was pretty cool, man. So I've been a Raider fan ever since,
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So what age did you go ahead, KJ?
Yeah. So what age you start playing wide receiver?
Wow, wide receiver. I didn't get the wide receiver. I played on the line in PAL league and got to junior high and played defensive back. A little bit of wide receiver in junior high school, but I was more of a defensive back in junior high. And then by the time I got to West Charlotte, in high school, it was tight end, split end.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the area in Charlotte and basically the community, how close knit you were, your family members. Just tell us a little bit about growing up in Charlotte a little bit.
Oh, well, hey, man, listen to me. I had a beautiful childhood, if you let me tell it. I wouldn't have changed my childhood for nothing in the world.
Okay.
I grew up in a loving community, man, where, where the lady down the street could whoop you.
Okay.
One of them communities,
Okay. Yes, sir.
Like,
Yeah.
And I was a neighborhood paper boy. So therefore I knew all the neighbors.
Cool.
Everybody knew me, growing up. And we had one of the first black police officers in the neighborhood actually stayed two houses down the street from me. And he was pretty much the organizer of athletics because he started the PAL league for us.
Okay.
And he chartered buses. So it kept us involved as a community, man. As young people, they was trying to keep us out the street. Just being honest, they tried to keep us out the street, man. They would go as far as to organizing track meets, golf tournaments, football, little league football, bowling. They did all this for us, man, as kids, man. I could have grew up in a better neighborhood. University Park, actually right behind my high school, right behind West Charlotte High School, where I grew up, right off Batesboro Road in Charlotte. Beautiful, man.
Okay.
Okay. So when you got to high school, you played what, football and track?
Yeah, well, I guess growing up in University Park, I guess I would say my first idol that I really got a hold to his name was David Waymer. Now he ended up playing defensive back for the Saints. But the deal was when the lights came on Friday nights in our neighborhood, people would sit on the rooftops to watch the games because it was right inside the neighborhood. And we as peewees, we used to run up, and try and get in the game free, go underneath the gate, whatever we could do to try and get in the game, we would do that as peewees. And I remember the first time I got in a football game in West Charlotte and got an opportunity to see West Charlotte play on Friday nights under the lights. I mean, that was a dream come true for me, just being on board and just being able to watch the big boys play. And I remember David Wayman scored about 4 touchdowns this night, man. He played defensive back, he played running back, he played kickoff return, punt return. I mean, he was just electrifying. He ended up going to Notre Dame, played with Montana. And so he was my first idol, man. He was the one that I really first, wanted to just emulate.
Okay.
I mean, he was a pretty cool cat, man. He really was, man. He was electrifying too, dog. And that was just my dream, just want to get the ball and shine on Friday nights from that point on. And I got my first opportunity. I mean, I wasn't a big kid growing up, but I played with the big boys in the street, and we would do sandlot football. You know the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I always played fearfully. I'll say that, but I had heart. But I always played scared because I never wanted to be tackled. So naturally, I developed a move or two, and I had a little speed to get away. And
Dwayne E. Walker said, "What's up, Shelton? Nice seeing you."
I see old Sweet D. What's up, baby?
Sweet D.
Yes, sir. What's going on,
man.
Walker?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. And but it was just an opportunity to showcase my talents when I got there. I know when the first opportunity I had to play wide receiver and catch the ball, I was a little nervous at first, right? But I was 15. I was just starting to get a lot of height on me. I was a skinny kid, and the coach knew my brother from tennis, and he was like, "Hey, man, my little brother coming up to high school, give him a shot, right?" And he gave me a shot, and I, through the summer, I kind of, showed him a few skills, showed him some talent, and so I played varsity as a sophomore, which was a big deal,
Okay.
And so I walked around with my chest stuck out for a little while, but I didn't really get a lot of playing time, special teams, that kind of thing, just learning the game.
Yeah. Okay.
But I really had some inspiration when all the defensive backs got hurt. And I remember the defensive back coach looked at me. I think I was the only one that, hadn't played that particular game. And everybody was like, push Shelton in, And the coach looked over there and put a running back in, man. And but I hurt my spirit there, right? And I remember him saying, he said, "You ain't a football player." And I fed off of that. That was a little fuel for me, man. So I went, I got in the gym. By the time I came back my junior year, I was about 6'2", 185. I was pretty solid, running the 4.5 40 at that time, junior in high school. And I had some desires to get in the end zone, But anyway, coach put me at defensive back, and I went both ways, man. I was part of the both ways gang, they called us. Me, Everett Withers, and Ivan Chapman were the only 3 to play both ways for 2 years there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk about how you harness your track skills in the football.
Well, a lot of people didn't even know track was actually my first love. I grew up running. And whether it was running from the big boys or running from the girls, I grew up running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was a kid, had a little speed on him, at an early age. And but I just like to run, man. My brother told me I run like a deer. So I just kind of held on to that, and just I wasn't really that fast, but I was fast enough to compete. And I grew up running AAU track, and grew up in a swimming pool also. But I tried to utilize those track skills. See, I grew up around creeks and ponds and high fences. So, when it was time to go to the creek, I could jump across the creek. That's where my long jumping skills came into attack, right? when we was robbing the plum tree over at Peter Rabbit's house, I could hop the fence in one leap. That's where my high jumping skills came in at, right? But I started high jumping in junior high school, and I started out at about 6 feet and cleared it with ease. And long story short, I ended up being the first North Carolina guy to jump 7 feet in high school, and so the skills worked out, from track. I tried to put them on the football field best I could.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead, KJ.
Yeah. So who taught you the form and the high jump? Who taught you them skills, man? Because it ain't easy to do that high jump.
No, it wasn't easy. I was a big Bruce Jenner fan back in the day. Believe it or not, he was the world decathlon, decathlete, and Dwight Stones.
Okay.
Was a high jumper back in the day. And again, I was a big track and field man. So every time, it came on the TV, man, I was always trying to get out for it, man.
Okay.
And again, the fence in the backyard was always, that one step.
Yep.
So I had already, began to practice those kind of techniques early in the game.
Okay. Yep.
And I didn't know anything about, the technique and the Flosberry flop, I think they called it back in the day. But I remember when I was in junior high school, the first time I tried to touch the rim in junior high school, one of the coaches saw me. And then he took me down. He walked me down to the track. He said, "You ever high jump before?" I said, "Yeah, the fence in the backyard." And I remember he laughed at me. He said, "Man, I'm going to turn you into a high jumper." And he showed me what to do. And it was just, the rest was history. It didn't take me but one time to really, grab hold to the concept of what it was to get over the bar. And I became fond of it, man.
Did you win any state championships in track?
No, I actually did not win the state my senior year. Went up to Raleigh and got second place in the high jump. Didn't win the state. Yeah, wasn't fortunate enough to win that.
What about in football? Did y'all win in the football? Y'all make it to the playoffs and anything like that?
Yeah, we did make it to the state playoffs. My senior year we did. My junior year I thought we should have won it, but we got knocked out in the first round. But my senior year I was fortunate enough to play with, or shall I say, play against a teammate of mine who was at Clemson also, Steve Griffin.
Okay.
He went to South Mecklenburg at the time. So we were high school rivalries and friends, believe it or not. And we were able to compete against one another. During the season, they beat us 20-7, and then they embarrassed us in the state playoffs, second round, beat us 34-9. I think the headlines read, the showdown was a shutout, right? Those were my playoff moments, right?
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool though, but we ended up signing Clemson together, man, and cool. Still friends today. He just celebrated 32 years of marriage, and I was over his house just the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, as far as high school, I was going to ask you, as far as your senior year, you probably had a lot of recruits. What was your best game, and how many touchdowns you score in one game?
I think it was 3, if I'm not mistaken. And actually, it was the very first game my old man had the opportunity to see me play in.
Okay.
And I had a 71-yard reception. I had a interception. 43-yard interception return, and I had a fake 40-yard punt.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was a pretty good game right there.
Right, and my sister-in-law was, she was a country girl, and I could hear the whistle, through the crowd. She was just one of those type that could do the whistle, right?
Yeah.
I looked and just happened to see my old man in the stands for the first time, so that was real special for me, man.
Cool. Now, did you play any All-Star games? Did they have All-Star games back then?
Yeah, we did. I did a Shrine Bowl.
Okay.
Steve Griffin and I think Henry Walls and Ray Williams, all of us made the Shrine Bowl that year, and all of us ended up at Clemson.
So talk about your recruiting process. What other teams were looking at you besides Clemson, and why you chose Clemson?
Oh man, let's see. Well, I can say this. I remember they were looking at a guy who was all state at my high school. His name was Ivan Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually played beside him. He was the tackle, and I was the tight end. And he was 6'5", 265, everything. So they actually was recruiting him. And I think when Larry Vander Hayden was offensive line coach at Clemson at that time, when he discovered that I was a junior, they had to bag off of me.
Mm.
But the seed was already sowed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just the thought of playing Division I football just was, when that came across the table, the game changed.
Mm-hmm.
I started to do, some of the right things in school, outside of school, just kind of changed the concept, the mindset. And
There you
go. And I remember my old man told me, he said, he helped the cause naturally. He said, I ain't got no money for you to go to school. He was a hard worker. He was a dedicated chef. He said that was your mama's deal. And my mother passed in 1976. He said that was your mother's deal. He said, now if you want to go to college, you better score you some touchdowns. And he was serious about that. And I took that for what it was worth, man. And I got in the gym and I tried to get busy. Came early before practice and stayed late after practice, and tried to develop the skill of where somebody would take notice. And Vander Hayden took notice, and I can be honest, I probably had 2 good catches that really paid, that got somebody's attention. I wasn't a big play man. I was a team player, man. I wasn't about the stats and that single game performance, none of that, man. It was about team ball with me.
Okay.
And I remember Van Hayden got me my number 8. He got my jersey with the tiger paws on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I was so excited about that thing, man. Listen, I didn't even want to take that jersey off, man.
Cool.
And the very first time I got an opportunity to go to Clemson was my junior year. And I remember they played Georgia. And I'll never forget it. I came home and I told my old man, I said, listen, man, I know where I'm going to school. And I didn't know for sure at that particular time, but I said, I'm going to Clemson. I had already claimed it. My mother used to always say, boy, if you want something, you better claim it.
That's right.
So I went on and claimed it, right? And sure as the world could be, man, Danny Ford came to my house, man, and gave me an opportunity to go to Clemson University, man. And it was a no-brainer. My brother went to NC State, graduated with honors. Doc got his master's, doctors, all that good stuff. And I actually been in touch with NC State, since a child, from David Thompson days. I don't know if you remember that cat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basketball player.
That's who my brother went to school with. So I was a big NC State fan growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly believe, and this is the truth, I honestly believe had not Kifford got fired, I might have ended up at State. I'll say that just for the record. Had Kifford not got fired, I might have ended up at NC State. But when he got fired, my blood ran thorns from that point on.
Okay.
I knew where I wanted to go. I think my brother and my old man wanted me to go to NC State.
Cool.
But my blood was at Clemson the whole time, man.
I got a quick question. You said earlier in '76 you lost your mom. You were in high school when that happened, right?
No, I was 10. I was 10 years old, right before my 11th-year-old birthday.
Okay.
1976. Yeah, I was born in '64, and my mother developed breast cancer in '74 and passed April 14th of 1976. So I was pretty much raised by my old man, who worked from 3 in the afternoon to 12 at night. And the story starts there. you know, because he stood right over my mother's body and said, you're going to grow up a little faster than intended, you know, than expected. And I heard him from that point on. You know, I had an older brother. Again, he was, you know, 13 years older than me, so he was always gone in a way, but still close. You know, he was always there for me, whether it was on the telephone. He spent 2.5 hours on a math problem when I was in school. I was having a little trouble with math, right? I could call him. He spent 2.5 hours on one math problem. So, you know, he was definitely a brother that cared, man.
Bubba Diggs.
Bubba Diggs says, no brainer, true Tiger. You did the right thing.
Bubba D.
Say, good seeing you,
man.
Yes, sir. Bubba D got a lot of highlights, man. I was looking through the catalogs. It's like, man, Bubba Diggs is doing his thing. And I saw you too, man. You was doing your thing too. You was blocking for receivers and stuff, you know, blocking for running backs, and you know.
Well,
let's talk about.
Great.
I was about to say, go talk about when you first got to Clemson. Who embraced you? Who embraced you when you first got there? Who was the guy that took you under their wing?
Well, Sweet Bubba D was one of them.
All right.
Okay.
I'll say this, man. When I got to Clemson, man, I mean, those guys didn't even know what they meant to me deep down. Like, I had cherished that 1981 football team. I cherished them with everything I had. Every fiber in my body, man. I'm serious, you know, like I knew in my heart that I wanted to play with a winner.
There you go.
And having an opportunity to go to a national championship team without even questioning my ability. All I knew is that I was going to get an opportunity to play with the best. Win, lose, or draw. The man came to my house and gave me an opportunity to play with the national champions. So that meant the world to me, man. So when I got down there, of course, I met all my homeboys, Kevin Mack, Chucky Richardson, Ike Thomas, you know, Braxton Williams, you know, all the boys from North Carolina embraced me. They did now. And of course, you know, I had AJ, David Barnett, T Mac, Richard Butler. You know, they came later, but my North Carolina boys were there for me first.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But it was just an amazing experience, man, to have to know that you was just a number. You know, in high school, you're everything. You know, you all this, you all that. But then the best of the best get together, and then you have to ask yourself, you know, did you come to play, or did you come to be a spectator? You know, I heard William Pierce say one time, "Players gonna play." You know, and that meant that took a lot out of me to know that I was with the best. Because you know that team meant everything to me, man. It really did, man. It was everything for me to be a part of that.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, so how was it playing for Coach Danny Ford? How was that?
I remember the first time my freshman year. I couldn't get the plays together, you know, and I was like, God damn it, Shelton, this ain't no West Charlotte. You know, if you're gonna play here, you remember plays, and that allowed me to get into the playbook. It honestly did. It allowed me to get into the playbook and
start getting more focused.
It wasn't high school no more. It was time to grow up, man. It was time to grow up. You know, if you wanted to play
business,
it was business. You know, and I understood that, and I think what I appreciated the most is that they gave me an opportunity to showcase my talent. You know, whether it was going to be good, bad, or ugly, they gave me an opportunity, and that's what I appreciated the most. And I think that, you know, like coming down there, you know, I guess I could say Terry Kennard was probably, you know, the focal point of, because I remember I told one cat, I mean, I had no idea what I was going to play, whether it was going to be defensive back or wide receiver. All I know, I just wanted to play. But I remember coming down and said, yeah, man, I'm going to take Terry Kanon's place when he leaves. I'm going to be the #1 safety. You know, that's just how we were as kids, man. That was the dream anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I had the desire to say that. I had the heart enough to say that. Now, did I take Terry Kanon's place? No. But the thought, you know, and the dream was there. And I just wanted to contribute, man. I just wanted, you know, to be a good team player, good team member, and just contribute with that football team, man. I wanted to be a part of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I got some highlights, man, from 82 to 84.
What?
So, yeah,
man. Come on. Was I
about to
limping?
take you back, big dog. Yes, sir. Nah. We got some highlights, man. It did pretty good. It's an overall highlight of the team, the offense, and everything. You know, from 82 to 84,
you know,
basically. So
I always thought we had the best receiver group in the country not because of our passing ability, because of our blocking ability.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I didn't see a lot of pressure on none of the.
Right.
Yeah.
See, we didn't care about catching touchdowns. We it was all about knocking somebody out.
There you go. Well, let's get into it real quick then, man. You know, that was perfect. All right, here we go.
Blazing sky, I'll be where the eagles flying higher and higher.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sweet, baby. Let me tell you something, man.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
We had 5 of the greatest running backs that I ever been associated with. I'm telling you, man. In my group, 1982, Stacy Driver, Kenny Flagler.
Flowers.
Kenny Flowers, Terrence
Kenny
Flagler,
Flagler.
David Barnett, Steve Griffin. Right? I'm telling you. I see when you when you go to a school with 5 All-Americans. Come on, man.
Dang.
Come
Whole
on, man.
offense and William Perry on defense.
We
And his brother. And
we
Michael.
had Richard Butler, Ray Williams, Pat Charleston, Sebo Browning, and Terrence Roulette. Actually, Terrence Roulette came a year later.
Okay.
But I thought that we walked into being the best group of receivers that we could be, because we wanted to do a little more than catch the ball. We wanted to knock somebody out. That's what we talked about in meetings, knocking people out. Right? Skull and crossbow. For real, that's what we talked about. I'm telling you, man, I go to hell and back with them guys, man. Once again, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a beat. I signed with the Clemson Tigers once again.
That's what's up,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. Dwayne Walker said those guys could have started anywhere in the country.
Anywhere in the country.
Go ahead, KJ.
Anywhere in the country. How do you get 5 All-Americans at one school?
Yep.
Like I was saying, I know they didn't. I know y'all didn't throw the ball that much. But what was your favorite route? Did you still have a favorite route?
Nah, man, I ain't had no favorite route. Listen, I'm just honest. I wasn't the man, right? I wasn't the go-to guy. We had Ray Williams and we had Terrence Roulette.
Yeah.
And they were the go-to guys. I got to keep it real.
Okay.
I was third receiver. Me and Richard Butler and I was third receivers coming in. Right.
Henry Walls, homeboy player from North Carolina, he said.
See what I'm saying? See? Big head, what's up, baby? See, look, man, I'm telling you, man, these guys been a part of my life, man. They've been a part of my world for a long time, man. I'm telling you, I go to war with any one of them, man. I love them guys to death, man. I'm talking about. We developed some relationships down there that, when I say memories are forever, that's what I'm talking about, man. I'll never forget them years at Clemson University.
Yeah, man.
It was special.
That's awesome, man. So talk about the coaching staff out there, man. Who was the most influential in your life at Clemson as far as coaching?
Oh, listen, man,
man,
I gotta be honest, man. Again, trying to be a team player, I pretty much got along with everybody, man. I'm that guy that, if you don't like me, man, it's probably because you just don't want to. I got along with all my coaches.
Word.
I ain't never trying to be a trouble person. I knew I wanted to be coachable. Okay. I wanted to be teachable. Okay. So I had a relationship, I think, with all my coaches, man. Woody, Coach Ford, Lawson Holland, Chuck Reedy. It was just, listen, man, I enjoyed being around those guys. Cool. They brought something to the table. They wanted to win.
Yep.
Chuck Reedy was probably the most inspirational.
Mm-hmm.
He had that fire in his ass. I knew Chuck Reedy wanted to win. He used to like to see the running backs hit that hole, right? I used to look, he got me in tackle wanting to see them boys hit the hole, because I knew each one of them had the potential that if they got an inch, they could go the distance. And that's what kind of excitement I think that 82 team or the 81 team brought. And again, my 4 years there, we went 9-1-1, 9-1-1, 8-3-7-4, and so I just felt like I've been associated with a winning group of guys. That period of my life.
So speaking of the times that you played, how many bowl games y'all participated in? I know besides the national championship, I know it was a Gator Bowl.
Well, we was on probation now. Just understand this, right?
Yep.
My concept was when you got the people to sign to Clemson University, knowing we were going to be put on probation, I knew that was something special. But anyway, long story short, I got an opportunity to go to the Independence Bowl. Mm-hmm. And that was the only bowl game that I got to participate in.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Did y'all win it?
No. We got beat back in Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you played with a lot of All-Americans, a lot of pro athletes. Mm-hmm. What was the next step for Shelton Boyer after Clemson?
Well, I had inspirations to graduate, of course, and I call myself, and I'll be truthful at this moment, okay. At this time, 86 or so, I was a little in my feelings and trying to run some track, and back in 84, still kind of holding on to a little resentment, that I had against Coach Ford. Wouldn't allow me to run that track. He said, "You here on football scholarship," and I ended up breaking my ankle. And not to say that I would have been an Olympic qualifier or none of that good stuff, but I just thought that high jumping at that particular time in my athletic career, I just wanted an opportunity to practice on it, give it my all, give it my best.
Yep.
Coming from where I came from, coming from where I came from, that was a dream come true for me to even have somebody talk about Olympic trials. I was a 7'4" high jumper when I got to Clemson. Mm-hmm. And when that dream was kind of, smashed due to a broken ankle, my young age, I just kind of held on to a resentment. And in 86 was the year, it should have been my red shirt year. And I chose to forfeit it. And I moved on, tried to put my name in the draft. Never, long story short, it fell through. So I came back to school in 87. I had another year track eligibility left. And I was spotted at track practice from a scout from the Giants. So he asked me, say, "Would you run the 40 for me?" I was at track practice, and I ran the 40 for him. And he didn't tell me the first time, but he told me the second time. He asked me again. He said, "Would you run that again for me?" And it turned out to be my fastest 40, 4.43. And so I signed a little free agent deal with New York, and I went up to I left school early, went on up and got in the weight room. Listen, man, I was you talk about excited. Been playing free all my life. Been putting the work in all my life, right? Yeah. And I got that first check. I got that little signing bonus. And I just remember my old man said, just give it your best. That's all I ask, right? Is that you give it your best. Whether it be, win, lose, or draw, just give it your best. And that's what I did, man. I just tried to give it my all. Went up to New York and gave it my best. I got injured, had a growing injury. But I remember my Parcells after our rookie workout, we had 6,200s in 26 seconds with a minute and 19 seconds rest. And I remember running all 6 of them, leading the pack, and not even breathing hard. And again, track was my passion, but nobody knew that. And Parcells walked over to me and asked me my name. And from that point on, I thought I had something going there. And I actually did till I got hurt. And the story goes that he wanted to keep me on the farm team, on the scout team.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'll say it again. I've been playing free all my life. And then a brother give me some money, look what I do. I said, no, man, I don't want to play on no farm team, man. I want to play. You know, and I was a young kid, man. So I probably should have just took the time out. Oh, that's my boy Rue.
Say greetings, love you, Shelton.
I probably should have just took the time out, you know, and waited my turn, because I waited my turn all my life. I waited my turn to play in Pop Warner. I waited my turn to play in junior high school. I waited my turn to play at West Charlotte, and I waited my turn to play at Clemson, you know. And now I get to the pros, and I didn't want to wait my turn. And at the time, my agent was Billy White Shoes Johnson. I don't know if that name rings a bell to you.
Yeah.
Right, that was my agent. And he asked me to say, well, Miami called and, you know, need some receivers down there. So I said, I want to play. And what I probably should have done was sat still, you know, and just let things, because I came out with Mark Ingram, Odessa Turner, Stephen Baker.
Mm-hmm.
They drafted 3 receivers that year, and they kept 3. They had Lionel Manuel, Phil McConkey, and Freddie Solomon. And Lionel Manuel was in contract dispute.
Yeah.
So I went through 3 preseason games. I made all 3 cuts, and then right before the last preseason game, I called home. I told my dad, I said, man, don't scream. I said, but I think I made it. And he said, what? I said, yeah. I said, I think I made it. And I got cut the next day.
Dang.
Right? Yeah. But he brought me in the office, and he gave me an opportunity to stay. And I chose to leave. And I went to Miami, and then I got to see the political side of football. Man, they ain't even give me a look. You know.
What?
Yeah, man. You know, they was putting some balls in front of me, man, that I questioned. But that's all. I'll leave it right there. I just questioned it. You know, I just thought my athletic ability was much better. But I didn't get the shot that I thought I was gonna get, man. I should have stayed put. You know, but I chose to leave. You know, and that's how the story goes. You know.
Yep. Gotta take your chances where they may, man.
I gotta take the chance. You know, but if I look back on it, I wouldn't change a thing, man. I wouldn't change one beat, because it allowed me to be here, to have this podcast here with you today.
Yes, sir.
That's
It's
right.
a great story, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't change the beat.
I didn't know all that. So let the people know what you got going on now, Mr. Boyer.
Oh, well, I met my wife in 03.
Okay.
04.
Right.
Since 04. And I got me a beautiful wife, man, and 2 beautiful girls. 123, 120. We'll be 21 next week.
Okay.
I got my first grandbaby. I'm a truck driver today, owner operator.
All right.
You know, working for myself, and I still got some dreams of, you know, having my own little moving company.
Okay.
And I know it, right? And I don't know, but just been in support of trying to be a family man. You know, I tried to be here for my wife. She's watched her get her associate's degree, go back to school, get her associate's degree, go back and get a bachelor's degree. Just got a master's degree, and talking about her doctor's degree. You know, so I just trying to, you know, keep low profile, man. Keep God first, and you know, spread the love.
That's it, man. So, what's your advice to the youth coming up today?
Man, attitude. You know, you got to be coachable today, man. You know, these kids. You know, as much as I hate to say it, but you know, it's a lot of undisciplined kids, and I think you know, in our era, how we came up, you know, we were coachable, and I just think, man, you just got to have the right attitude going into anything, whether it be a job, wife, whatever it is, man. You know, your attitude got to be right. And you know, it took me a minute, you know, to allow God to come into my life, man. And you know, I grew up in the church, you know, but I got away from it. I'll be honest with you, I got away from it. Made a left turn, you know, made some bad decisions in life. And, you know, it cost me a good 15, 16 years of my life, you know. And, you know, I thank God when he tried to play, you know, give me that second opportunity, I refused to look back, you know. And I just moved forward. I changed once I changed my attitude, I put my blinders on, you know, I could see clearly. And so for these kids today, man, you know, we came up looking people in the eye when we talked to them.
That's right.
You know, and we put the work in. You know, you got to put the work in, man. You can't expect to go to the bank, pull something out the bank if you ain't put nothing in.
There you go.
You know,
That's right.
and so I urge these kids, man, to you know, work hard at your craft. If you got a passion for something, you know, it shows. So you don't have to tell nobody you love football. It'll show.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell nobody, you know, how good your jumper is. It'll show.
Yep.
You know, I got a passion for the work I do. Now I'm a furniture mover, you know, by trade today, and I love what I do. I love it. You know, like I've never gotten up and said, "Damn, I got to go to work." You know, I love what I do. And so when you develop a passion for football or whatever it is, track, swimming, bowling, you know, put your all into it, man. You know, because you ain't got but one dream, man. I'm telling you. You know, if you got that one, I had that one dream to want to play football, the NFL. And I remember the first time I saw the roster, and it had Shelton Boyer, you know, under Phil Simms and Lawrence Taylor. You know, I played, you know, that touched my heart, you know, and I can't say I made it, but I can say I was there. And
that's right.
You know,
that's the difference.
For a kid that don't know, you know, what that's like, I just, you know, I urge you to keep your mind right, keep your head on right, get out the street and learn how to be your own man and say no. I got weak in that area, you know. I stopped being my own man and using my own mind and start being a follower instead of a leader. So I urge you, you know, if there's a kid out there listening, man, learn how to lead. Learn how to lead.
So how was it playing with Harry Carson and Lawrence Taylor, man?
Now
Most
it's
fierce
funny
linebacker.
you said Harry Carson. Out of all those guys, you picked Harry because he was one of the ones that actually took me under his wing, man.
He from Orangeburg. I mean, played at South Carolina State.
Oh man, he's some kind of special guy, man.
Hall of Famer.
Banks, Mark Bavaro was one of my inspirations, man. He was I mean, he was true to the game. He was true to the weight room. Mark Bavaro, yeah, man.
Okay,
he was true to the game, man. And but I had a good experience up there, man. You know, it was one of a kind, one I could always hold on to, that I was a part of. You know, my hats off to anybody that can get on that NFL roster and become somebody, you know, because it speaks volume, man. You know, that means you put the work in. You know, and sometimes, you know, I heard somebody say it's about time and all, and it is, you know, it's about timing. And I don't know, it wasn't my time. It wasn't my time. But you know, I appreciated, you know, the opportunity. I just don't think I, you know, took full advantage of that opportunity at that particular moment in my life.
Yeah. All right. So I was gonna say, man, we appreciate you coming by the shop, man. You know, you always welcome to come back on the show.
Oh,
You got
man,
a lot
I'm
of
glad
stories.
you guys had me.
I appreciate you coming on. For real, it was a whole lot of fun. Is there anybody you want to shout out before we leave? Like former coaches, players, teammates?
Man, you know, from you ain't got enough time for me to give a shout out. So I'm telling you, man, for real, man. Like,
okay,
there's so many people,
to the entire Clemson family, for real. I want to give a shout out to the entire Clemson family, and I'm talking about from the Bengal Babes to the soccer crew to Donald Igwe Buchanan, right, who was my neighbor. To Sweet Bubba D, Henry Walls, Chuck Richardson, Kevin Mack. and the Homer Jordan allowed me to wear his number, right?
Yep. As soon as he left, you picked it up.
Look,
Right.
you couldn't tell me nothing after that.
All right.
Sweet Homer Bird Jordan, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's seriously, man. My hat's off to all them guys, man. Kenny Danforth, man, you know, much love to all those guys, man. Tyrone Davis, Andy Hayden. I mean, come on. D. Walker, T. Mac, Kenny Flowers. Oh, man, just come on, man. You bring tears to my eyes just think about all them brothers, man. For real.
Dwayne Walker said, love the show. Keep it up.
Appreciate
it,
D. Love you,
yes,
my brother.
Sir. Yep. Well, this is the segment where we head out, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. We'll love to have you back. Once again, you guys are turning into another edition of Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Colter. And in the middle, my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ. And today we like to thank special guest, former Clemson wide receiver and New York Giant, Shelton Boyer. Got you, big dog. Hey, yo, that's what y'all used to do, y'all. All the receivers had that thing. Shoot them down. You know it? Yes, sir, man.
All right.
Hey, it was nice meeting you. A great show. And we'll talk to you soon, Mr. Boyer.
All right, man. You got my number, brother.
Yeah, we'll call you after the show, man.
Okay. Yep. Peace.
All right. Or you can stay on, man.
That's not how you start, man. That's how y'all finish.
There you go.
That's it. Ain't how you start, it's how you finish.
There you go.
Love you guys, man. Peace.
All right. Love you too, man. All right. Take care, man.